Hi babies, it's your cosmic auntie and welcome to the collective reading for the new moon in Virgo today. So happy new moon. So I've been taking a lot of time to feel into the imagery that the energy is presented to me over the last couple days, and whenever I focus and open myself up to receiving cosmic influences, I see this image of like a spiral, and the spiral goes all the way around. So it goes around, and then it connects, and then it goes up from there, and they're making complete circles and then expanding. I keep hearing the word, it prongs off into a whole other cycle. So, Virgo reminds us of our wholeness, that we have everything that we need to navigate the experiences of our life. And that also means welcoming in new learning opportunities and then acting on them, right? So that means that there's a certain inner and understanding about something that you've experienced, and then gleaning the information that you want to carry into the next prong of the spiral, if that makes sense. So Virgo, this new moon, is this invitation into our wholeness, our sacredness, our sovereignty as an individual, and our wholeness in the connection of the collective and beyond of existence. We are an integral part of everything. So as well as everything else, right? But that there's this intactness that we can experience in a physical body, and how we articulate our experiences as a sovereign self in connection with everything that exists. So I kept hearing the words wholeness, so I'm really using that word before I flip over the cards. And what was the other thing that I should write notes? So what have you, my darlings, what great feat have you accomplished? There seems to be a real need in the energy to bring that awareness into this conversation. What have you accomplished, sweethearts? What great feat have you been working on? And perhaps find yourself completing in a certain sense, and then how pronging into the next chapter. I feel like we're at this place in the energy, this jumping off point. So there's definitely something that each one of you has completed that has taken a lot of stamina, a lot of energy, effort, determination, strength, right? And this new moon in Virgo reminds us of this ability to put energy into action and figure things out, streamline things, complete things. So I'm looking forward to hearing about what you have completed, what you may have just gone through. Like there definitely seems like there's there's chapters completing, and it feels as though we're looking back. The energy when I'm in it is looking back at these things. Oh, and another thing, what in this circle, this feet, this last chapter, this chapter you've just kind of experienced, that you find yourself looking back on, and on the other, and then turning to a whole new horizon. And I just saw like a lot of bags packed, so I know that there's things that you're bringing with you that are important. So what are those things? It also feels like there's a certain amount of magic, and there's something that you may have experienced within this last chapter that you may not have thought maybe is coming with you, but it is you may not have thought that it's coming with you, but it is presented itself again as this positive. There's something that's really thrilling and surprising and exciting and positive that you may have like gone through in this last thing that you may not have been. It was it's just, let me make sure I'm picking my words right. There's a piece of the puzzle within this last chapter that excited you, brought you joy, but then was kind of put aside due to this feat, due to this energy to accomplish something, this energy that you're putting into whatever this feat may be for you, right? These are collective, so please, if this resonates, put in your own unique details, reflect on that, use your own intuition, use your own inner knowing, right? So there's something that's kind of coming with you that's like both exhilarating and kind of shocking and exciting, and it's helping this new horizon take form more. This prong in the spiral. All right, so let's just flip these over and see what's going on. All right, just give me a moment. All right. There's definitely an energy of reflection, of looking at the work that has been done, the effort that has been put into blank, to observe what's growing, what's not growing, what hasn't grown, what is surprisingly grown, keep doing that. It just heard the words, doing inventory, because there's this spiral. I keep seeing it. So a completion and then pronging off into another, and so forth and so forth. So what are you noticing, my darlings? What are you noticing? What has grown, what hasn't grown, all of those things that I just said. Because there's this jumping off point, and there's like this pivotal energy to it where things have shifted abruptly. However, there's strength and vision coming from these pivotal moments, this change, I'm drawing this from the Tower in your strengths, and I actually really love this Tower card. Like, look at this individual. They are like rupturing through this rocky like foundation here, and like riding like a stone with like electricity. So there's this real like fierce energy, and perhaps it's like things that you're saying no to now, and it's causing like shifts in your environment, but you're feeling confident in the structural change that you're making. It doesn't mean that it's always easy. Like, change isn't always comfortable, and there can be a lot of emotions that come up, challenging ones, right? So that can be something that's happening. However, it's like this urge, this direction that I'm feeling, this like desire to move towards this goal, this dream, and there's been this completion within the journey and this next part of the journey towards that goal, if that makes sense. There's this knowing, this connection with life, right? And the new moon in Virgo helps us feel that wholeness, this sacredness, this connection to divine energy, and how our, internal world and external world relate, and how we are these important, essential tools of connection. So there's this inner knowing of the direction that you're wanting to go, and there's these gifts, babies, that are falling, that are right there. I just saw like this is interesting, but when like the stork story with like the little bundles and they kind of drop them, like there's these like gifts, right? These blessings presenting themselves to you out of the connection of co-creation with Creator. So what are those? What are you noticing in your life right now that are things you wished for, hoped for, prayed for, and have taken concrete action towards, where you've said to Creator, I would like this, I hope for this, I yearn for this, and I will do the work for it. And I love that because I can really see that in the cards here. I want to show you these two. Look at how powerful these two are. The High Priestess and the Star. So this is in the subconscious and conscious energy positions in the spread. So I can feel you all tapping into your power, and perhaps even trusting your power more, and going for what you want and seeing it come into your life, into your world, whatever that may be, right? There's this like real beautiful community energy as well. I can sense a lot of you are thinking and feeling about the people around you and how you feel with the people around you. I can sense that there's some really close people in your life that are like very emotionally supportive. And so who are they? And I feel as though this has been part of the work as well, like really becoming discerning about who you're surrounded with, so that the internal matches the external. I heard the facade fading away, and how like beautifully cathartic and bittersweet that can be, because there's a lot of healing that comes with that too. So I feel like there's a lot of heart-centered community energy flowing from you, like perhaps even thinking about like how to be of service, or this is important to Virgo, how to use your energy for the benefit of the collective as well as yourself, right? And because there's just this like perhaps a lot of you maybe have felt apathetic in a certain way, like really wanting something new, craving it, like really feeling this like need to incorporate fresh emotional kind of energy into your life, this like need for more passionate interaction. Yeah, and making the changes necessary, whatever they may be, to welcome in that fresh energy, because there's this really deep connection I'm feeling with, like perhaps a lot of you have been really praying a lot, and that's really good, right? And prayer can look any kind of way. There's no right or wrong way to pray. This can be just even internal dialogue that you are having with yourself when you're working through things or thinking or doing whatever that may be, wishing, hoping. Yeah. And because of that, right, with this co-creation, divine energy is like, okay, and meets you. And there's been some definite shifts in your environment that may have been abrupt or like, yeah, a bit destabilizing, right? But it's in your favor, and you know this. However, there's a lot of emotions that are still coming up in regards to that, and that's okay, that's normal, that's good. And there's this reflection on your emotional processes that's really quite wise, right? Virgo connects with the Hermit card, which is a card of completion. It's a card of reflection, looking at what has come to be, and then where it's going. Where's the what path is opening up next after this completion, right? So interesting, beautiful energy. Yeah, you're breaking free from things that do not serve you anymore. And your inner child's really helping you with this. Your inner child's really like bringing you to those places, to those tethers that need to be like cut, that need to be tenderly removed or, you know, cleaned, right? So, and that's not always easy. But again, remember, you are whole, you are sacred, and the new moon in Virgo is a beautiful time to set some like new intentions in regards to reflecting on what has come to be. Like, okay, yeah, tie it up, thank you. And right, and everything is connected. So even when things end, right, there's a whole new prong starting. So what are you bringing? What are you leaving? And how does that make you feel? And then tell the moon. Tell the moon. And tell your friends, right? I see the three of emotions in your heart position. And so this is a card of community. You are not alone. So, you know, connect with those who you feel healthy with, that you feel respected by, and who you respect, who inspires you, all of those things, right? I just saw like an image of like someone underwater, like frantically cutting themselves loose from things that are pulling them deeper, right? I mean, water is important, but there's things that are entrapping. So I really saw someone like, yeah, cutting loose these like ropes and like really like putting a lot of energy to swim up into air, right? Because I can sense that perhaps a lot of you are needing more air to breathe. Like you with this growth, there's this growth of energy in your, and you need more space to express, to articulate, to for your truth. So there's something there, right? This whole new horizon, and then really doing the last little bit of removing, thanking, and then swimming into this next spiral that's starting, because you can see it and you've worked so hard, right? Going back to this feat that's been completed, worked so hard at whatever you have just gone through. And the struggle is what has helped you really bring the dream into focus. Virgo helps us streamline, and right, it's an earth sign, so ground, streamline, and take action towards, right? Virgo is also thinking about how to benefit the collective. Virgo is a healer, the healer energy. So like, how are you healing yourself? And when you heal yourself, you really do a huge job for the collective as well. And then there's this within that, thinking about what you can logistically do in your world to build a better world. Do what you can to build a better world. Like, so it's really quite something, my darlings. And even though you may have wanted change, change isn't always easy. So it's like this combination of like excitement and grief. And you're allowed to feel multiple things at once. You know this, right? We are complex, we are dynamic. And I can see and sense within the cards that there's a lot of healing that you've done, and perhaps you are really allowing yourself to that space to be multiple things and feel multiple things, right? I'm just gonna make sure I'm not missing anything here. Let's turn over the oracle and see what's going on. So the goddess that has come forth for the reading is Maat. Fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. So Maat is fairness, right? Kind of Libra energy. And I believe we have Mercury in Libra right now. Maybe a few other things. Maybe. I think so. I haven't really, I should have a chart with me and some notes. That's something that I'm going to work on. But fairness, right? This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. So whatever is changing in your world right now, whatever is happening, whatever shifts, whatever abrupt changes, remember that you have this tower in your strength position. So you are riding these changes. You are surfing them. You are like busting through. Like, this person is confident in the flow, even though it's like, you know. And then the 5 of emotions in your present position underneath the star. So even though these changes may have been necessary and maybe something you've hoped for, and maybe, like, you know, however they happened may have not been the way that you wanted things to happen, but the change is the way that the rebel is falling in a way that the path is to what you want, to what your heart calls for, to what your bigger goals are, is revealing itself. So there's this like like, for lack of a better words, conflicting emotions. But remember, you can experience multiple things at once. And Mott is here to share that the situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. So let's read more about what Mott has to say. Okay, let me suggest another definition for fairness. It's when all parties involved surrender their personal agendas in favor of the greater good for the entirety of the group. This requires trust in the wisdom of the whole. When it comes to matters of disputes, the attacks are based on fears that you may not receive your share. Yet attacks amplify the hurt and the pain that caused the dispute in the first place. Why not surrender your attachment to a specific outcome and instead direct your holy will toward the resolution of the argument? Hold a firm vision of a peaceful outcome and let the pieces fall into place in a harmonious manner. Yeah, there was this real visual that I received of pieces falling into place, right? And holding your core, like whether or not you initiated these changes or these changes kind of came out of nowhere and like kind of pulled the rug out from under you, the pieces are falling in a way that the path that you are wanting to, that you're yearning, the path that you're talking to God about is revealing itself. And so whatever it is that you're going through, whatever changes that have happened, I can sense that you don't want any harm or like there's no ill intentions here. And right, we can only be responsible for our impact, not for like the responses of another. So holding in your heart like your truth. So if you initiated certain changes that have kind of shaken things up in regards to this conversation you're having with God about the path that you're wanting to move towards and on and form even. Because I get the sense that this is a path that's like unseen. Like you're looking at things in the world right now, you're looking at the whole and thinking about what can you do personally as a sovereign, sacred individual in connection with the entirety of existence do to benefit the whole. And so this path may not even exist. This is something that I think that each of one of you is building with the Creator and may not even exist in the world yet. So thank you for tapping into who you are and your truth and your desires to make the world a better place for like internally for you and then around you and then the entire collective. So yes, hold in your heart that the situation will work out. You know, really think about your impact, but also keep your core and your truth and your vision firm, right? And keep untying yourself, cutting yourself from things that drag you down, okay? And work with your inner child in regards to what that is. These can be limiting beliefs, conditioning, coping mechanisms that are not conducive or healthy, all of these things, right? So whatever that is for you, keep doing that work and freeing yourself. And this new moon is this beautiful opportunity to really plant those seeds, right? To really set those intentions. And Virgo is the sign that's going to make them happen. And, you know, where we're going to think about what is the best way to make them happen? What is the way that makes sense? And cutting out the corners that don't make sense, that make that make us run around. Virgo's going to figure that out. So work with the moon tonight. If you journal or pull cards or, go for a run, whatever you do to like focus, to pray, to meditate, to whatever works for you, right? Do that, my darlings. Okay, and so we have Lucky Clover Dragon, which is so cute. Look at them. Look at this cheeky little dragon. Let's see. So, like, you know, life has a way of interacting. We interact with it, right? We are life experiencing itself. So pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the way that life reaches out for you, and communicates with you. You know, lucky clovers. Maybe you'll find a 4-leaf clover. Yeah, like just revel in the little gifts, right, that are being bestowed upon you right now, sweethearts, and feel deserving of them because you are, and revel in them, enjoy them, because you've just completed something really freaking big. And if this resonates, please feel free to leave a comment. I love hearing from you. Message me or whatever you'd like, because I can tell there's been a huge feat completed, and now it's like looking at where the pieces have fallen, after surfing the rocks, surfing the rubble, going with the flow, but remembering that you have a direction, right? You're not just a leaf in the wind. You have a say. And I feel like a lot of you are really getting to trust that and starting to like flex that more and enjoying the manifestations in the physical realm in regards to that. So, to your power and your divine relationship with existence. Okay, so let's read about Lucky Clover Dragon and we'll finish up for today. All right. Expect things to start going your way when the Lucky Clover Dragon shows up. From the frills around its muzzle to the 4-leaf tail, this dazzling green stunner is here to shower you with good things. These may not be things you expected, but do pay attention to your surroundings. Check those pockets and couch cushions to find missing items and money. Don't be surprised if you go to a restaurant and they offer you a free dessert just because. The magic of this little beauty is to put things in your path. Yeah, that path. Your job is to look for them. You'll miss the rainbow if you don't look up. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do for the world. I appreciate the curiosity that you have with yourself and your determination, your drive, your need to feel better, your desire to see the world heal, and doing your part, no matter how that looks, right? And thank you for bringing your awareness back to yourself, right? Virgo, you are whole, my darlings. You are sacred. You are safe. You are loved. You're protected. And everything that you need to navigate your experiences is within you. And I know that you know this, or you're becoming more confident in this and becoming more curious about how deep that really goes, right? The High Priestess and your subconscious. Your inner wisdom, your inner truth. Keep breaking free from those things that stop you from expressing your truth, and keep creating and that space, that breadth of space, so you can breathe your own air. Right? Fighting from the entanglement of the ropes that you're cutting yourself from to swim with determination and strength to the surface, to breathe in air, because you are alive, you are important, you are needed, and I love you. And remember that the situation will be handled in a fair and just manner, and if that helps you, hold that. Happy new moon in Virgo. I will see you at the full moon in Pisces, and I look forward to feeling into this moon phase, this cycle, and perhaps hearing from some of you if this resonates. So bless you, and you'll see your auntie in a couple weeks. Bye.